This is how I'm using AI to make $21,000 a week with high ticket info. As you guys can see, some quick proof over here. We have a 4K, a 3K, three 4K deals over here in the middle, and a 1K and a 1K to the right. So I've just blurred out the client information, but sale ID and everything is different for every single close, just so you guys can actually see that it is legit and no BS. Now, what I want to be covering in this video is basically just breaking down exactly how to use AI with a high ticket info business, so you guys can literally be printing money just like I showed you guys. Now, this is without running any ads, not even selling AI as a tool or anything like that. You basically just want to use AI to its maximum potential. And this is kind of the exact system that I use. So we're not really doing any complicated funnels, just kind of tailoring everything into one single specific funnel or one specific place. And that's kind of how you're going to convert your customers as well. So I'll show you everything so you can replicate it using AI pretty much as your assistant and not as a product, because you see a lot of people just try to sell AI as a kind of a service, but that's not what you want to be doing whatsoever. What you want to be doing is using AI to fulfill your service, but you don't want to market and try to sell AI to businesses unless you're doing something very, very specific, like having an AI assistant over phone or whatever. So this is pretty much going to be the exact system that I've been using, so you can just replicate it. It's been proven by countless other people, and that's kind of what I want to delve into right here, because I've literally helped people scale brands like TJR. He's doing 7 figures a month. We have Alex Eubank as well, got him from zero to close to half a mil in just a couple months. So I'm not just talking out of my ass, because I was literally making these guys a bunch of money. And I even made a similar or a separate video to this where I kind of just broke down exactly why I was kind of tired of this, because I was in a position where I was making guys 6 and 7 figures. Let's say I was making somebody 500K. I even talked about it in the video. I literally made somebody $300,000 and 500K, and I was only left with 30 and 50K out of that fucking money, right? So it's kind of crazy when you end up in a position where like you've made somebody so much money. And I'm not trying to like sound desperate or just like be weird, because for some of you guys 50K is a lot of money, right? And it is for me, like it's life-changing money. But then again, you're kind of sitting there and you're just like, holy shit, I've just made somebody $500,000 and I'm only left with 50K, and I've basically done all the work. So what ended up happening was I kind of had this mindset shift from just like, I need to stop working for these guys and actually start owning. And that's when everything really changed. So I made good money, but like I said, the margins were very, very low. So I kind of knew that what I was doing and the whole model actually worked. And I already seen it for countless others and whatever. So it was just actually about owning it. So what I ended up doing was I just started selling my own knowledge and systems instead of just building for others. And this is exactly what you can do, because I was no famous dude. I had no cloud, no real following, no nothing. And you don't need to have that as well, because you don't need to be famous to launch a high ticket info business. And I'm going to explain to you guys in this video later down the line why you actually don't need views and why you don't need a lot of followers, but you can still make a lot of money. All you really need though is just like a valuable outcome and the right systems to actually get the person to that outcome, right? So how can we do this? Well, you want to utilize AI to make sure you can build a proper high ticket info offer, and also finding what you're actually going to be selling, the outcome, etc. So how do I do this? Well, it's actually very, very simple, because you're probably in in the same position that I was when I kind of quit working for all of these guys. Is like, I was like, cool, I have all these skill set and I know kind of how to build all this and know how to scale and whatnot, but I don't really know how to curate my offer, what I'm supposed to do and whatnot. And I did this in a completely different niche, by the way, as well. So fuck this make money online stuff. Like, dude, I have a production channel, like a music production channel with like 15,000 subscribers on a different place. And I made a complete offer and whatnot with like in that niche. I've made an offer in this niche. Like I've tested this in multiple different niches, just so you guys don't think I'm again talking out of my ass. But we've actually done this over and over again. It's just following a proper system, utilizing AI to maximize it. So you make sure you have the right systems in place, and then it's just repeat from there. So essentially the way you want to use AI is just to make sure you curate everything in a proper way. And I've literally made a full prompt that you guys can use. So I'm not hiding anything. Like I'm giving you the prompt, everything that you can just copy paste. It's going to interview you so you can actually get in the nitty gritty out of all this. So um, if you have no idea what your niche, quote unquote niche should be, right? Or what you offer, or whatever, don't worry, because it's like I said, I was in the same position. What's important is that you use this prompt that I'm about to give you for ChatGPT, because you're going to be asking yourself, okay, but what should I sell? So use the prompt I'm going to give you, and it's going to literally talk about your background, skills, outcome, offers, transformations. And basically, the result you want out of this is you want to make sure that you get a custom tailored high ticket offer based on your actual experience. Okay. Very important, because everybody's different. You can sell different stuff. I know a guy doing fucking some dentist work that's making like 50K a month teaching people how to like run private dentist companies or whatever. And it's like, that's so fucking niche. He has no real following, no nothing. It's so freaking niche, but he's still making a lot of money off of it because he's kind of done that and now he's teaching others how to do it, right? So it's all about just monetizing one perfect skill. But essentially, you want this result out of your conversation with ChatGPT. So the prompt is below right here. What you're going to do is you're going to copy paste that prompt into ChatGPT, and then ChatGPT is going to interview you about your background. So you want to give it some insight on what you're good at, where your skills are at, stuff like that. And you can try to be as specific as possible, but usually you kind of end up in a place where you're not really sure what your skills are. How can I use this skill to even monetize and make money off of it? That's kind of where I was, right? Because I was like, okay, I know I can teach people, or I know I can kind of do all this for guys, but is it really worth teaching people about this? Is this actually something that you can monetize, etc.? And then I was like, high ticket info is essentially what I specialize in. So I use this prompt with ChatGPT to kind of go back and forth and eventually get to a place where, like, okay, if you know everything about high ticket info, then start teaching people how to get into high ticket info, because everybody that's in high ticket info are all pivoting into high ticket info and away from the business model that they're teaching. It's so funny. I'm going to talk about this later in the video, but you see these guys like TJR, Bredscales, Eubanks, and all these guys that made money with a completely different business model, but they all pivot into high ticket info because that's where you actually make money. That's where you get the Lambos, that's where you get the Porsche, etc. Because yeah, you're going to make some money with trading, with freelance brand scaling, or whatever these guys are teaching, but they're all pivoting away from that and into high ticket info because that's where the money's at. So why would you waste your time learning how to trade or freelance brand scaling, whatever, when you can just do high ticket info from the get go, since you don't even need a big following? Of course, like a huge following is probably going to help you, but I've proven this time and time again in different niches that it is possible even if you don't have a big following. That's the funny part about it all. So make sure you kind of get a custom tailored high ticket offer based on your actual experience. And you guys are going to talk about this back and forth with ChatGPT. So here's the prompt right here. I'm even going to walk you guys through everything. If you can just pause this video, copy this, just whatever. Or if you don't fucking want to write it all in, just I guess I'll leave my IG down below. Just send me a message, like just ask for the prompt, and I'll literally just DM it to you, like no strings attached. So here's the prompt. You're a high ticket offer architect. Your role is to take any given skill, job experience, or degree and reframe it into a premium 3,000 plus digital product or community. This is very key because the 3K price point is kind of where we want to be at, because everybody has 3K. I'll talk about it later, but you specialize in designing offers that create clear transformation and tangible results for a specific audience. For each skill or experience I provide, your output should include offer description, a clear, compelling explanation of what the digital product or community is, how it works, what's included, modules, calls, resources, community. Those are just examples. Then second thing is going to be the results it brings and for whom, right? So the exact transformation this offer delivers, who it is for, and why it matters to them, right? These are all very, very important things because you want to make sure, first of all, that when you have an offer, you want to make sure you have a clear, compelling explanation of what it actually is and how you're going to get the person from point A to point B, right? Nobody's going to sign up to anything or buy anything from you unless there's an actual transformation in there. Usually it's all about problem solving. You've probably heard it thousands and thousands of times, but if you want to make money, you need to solve some sort of problem. There's no way you're going to be making money or people are just going to hand you money for no reason. They're going to hand you money because you help them out. That's the exchange of value in this case. So it needs to be clear and concise, and you also need results that are going to come in. Third thing is going to be positioning and differentiation. So what makes this offer stand out in the market, and how can you justify a $3,000 price point, right? You don't really want to be quote unquote selling futures or justifying why it's 3K. The value should speak for itself, right? That's kind of the point of this, is just like being in the position of authority and why you're actually the guy that can just offer these prices. Then delivery model suggestion. This offer should be structured, again, just examples: course, hybrid mentorship, core-based program, etc., etc. Make sure each output is practical, outcome driven, and positioned as a premium digital product or community, not just another coaching program or course. Very important, especially nowadays, because it's all about trust. I'll talk about it later as well, but nowadays trust is so important. And this is why you kind of want to stand out as not just another course seller. This is basically the whole point about high ticket info, because it's kind of course selling, but I'll be real with you guys, is like it's just glorified course selling. That's basically what it is, because the info business is so big and there's so much potential and so much money to be made, but you kind of want to try to stand out as not just another guru or a course seller or any BS like that, because you actually value a proper transformation. So use persuasive modern language that would appeal to professionals and entrepreneurs who value transformation, not information. This a bit kind of depends a little bit on the niche you're in again. Like if you really think about wanting to do something that is completely different from like professional entrepreneurs and whatnot, you kind of remove this, but expect, like, that's just an example within a niche I'm in, right? So next thing is going to be start by asking me for the skill, experience, or degree you should build the offer around. So this way you guys actually start the whole interview back and forth, so you can talk with ChatGPT and then eventually find that offer. So once you find that offer, what do you actually do? Like, how do you structure the program? What do I put in offer, etc.? Well, you guessed it. You use the same fucking AI from above, the one that was interviewing you. You use the same AI to curate the whole structure to the mentorship, the information you're going to be selling. And you're pretty much just going to, again, go back and forth on how you feel like you want it, how ChatGPT is going to help you out with it. Just use this prompt and you guys, oh my bad. Just use the prompt and you guys are actually going to get a good idea of how it's supposed to work. I can even walk you guys through back and forth as an example. I've backtested this prompt with like completely weird ass industries and whatnot. So if you guys want a video on that, just let me know and I'll help you out. But essentially, you curate the offer with AI, you structure it with AI, and then it's all about just converting all these leads into clients, right? So then you're going to ask the question, which probably most of you also ask, is like, okay, I have this all in the back, but how the fuck do I actually get people to pay me? Great question. Like I said, no ads, no complicated funnels, none of that. It's so fucking easy, especially in 2025. As long as you have a little bit of trust, you're pretty much good to go. So it's all through IG content and YouTube content. So it's super, super simple. You're going to start posting IG Reels and long form videos on YouTube, similarly to what I'm doing right here. Essentially, what it all comes down to is just getting eyeballs, a few eyeballs on you, but the whole part of it is you want to get your ICP. Okay. So when I say a few eyeballs and I mean ICP, what that is basically your ideal customer. Okay, that is what you want, because you don't need a lot of eyeballs. Obviously, you need a little bit, like you need 100, 200 views, but you don't need much more than that. As long as it is your ICP, your ideal client, there is no way you're not going to be making money off it. And here's why. A bunch of people think you need a bunch of views, right, to convert these into sales. That's not true whatsoever. Because if you talk about one specific thing, you're going to gain one specific audience and you have one specific offer for that audience. My bad, it's a match made in heaven, essentially, right? The reason why it's not true is because you need well, you don't need a bunch of views and followers, excuse me, is because what you need is actually just trust. If you only have 500 views and 500 followers, but they truly die hard trust you, they're gonna buy anything from you, even though it's just 500 people, because you think 500 views on a video is bad, but it's not. If I say this time and time again, if I put you in a room with 500 different individuals, you will get scared shitless because it's so many people, right? So what you need to understand is that if you get 500 views a video on a 500 views on an IG reel, that's a lot of people right there. That's a whole fucking crowd auditorium of people. You'd be envisioning it like, holy shit, you'd be shaking because it's so many people, right? So imagine you holding a speech and everybody's there to actually listen to you and what you have to talk about. That's a perfect ICP, even though it's just 500 people or even 100 people. As long as it's your ICP, if you have 500 people watching you, you can bet your life on that there is somebody in that $500 people crowd that has at least 3K, and one person is willing to pay you something. And that's just off of one video. Imagine you compound this and post one every single day, 500 views, 500 views, 500 views. They trust you. You're going to make a lot of money in the course of a month. So what you want to do is you want to nurture them with even more videos on long form videos. So start by posting on IG Reels. You're pretty much guaranteed to get 200, 500 views off of IG Reels. So then you just like post value on there, just like show yourself, just be yourself. No fancy ass stuff. You can literally see on my videos, I'm so simple with this. It's literally just like talking at videos like this. I don't know how well you can see it, but I'm literally just there fucking talking to the camera and giving some value and just showing who I am. All you do is you just talk like this, share some value, but talk about one specific thing. You're going to gain that one specific audience, and that's the audience that's eventually going to pay. So once you're doing that, you just convert, or not convert, but you just send them over to your YouTube, because that's where you're going to nurture them with even longer forms of videos. And on the long form videos, that's where they really understand who you are. They see you as an authority and they really trust you, because now they watch so much of your stuff and they've seen you for such a long time. Like if they watch 30-minute video on YouTube countless times, they're really actually gonna take you seriously. They're gonna take you seriously, and once they do, they start trusting you, and once they start trusting you, you're gonna make a bunch of money. So what you do, this is just like example right here. Like you have 500 views per video, that's 5K on 10 reels. You can easily sell to at least 1 or 3 people out of these 5,000 views. Like that's no BS. That's just like pure math, bro. Like not even really that hard to understand, right? So why is this actually the meta right now? The reason why is, like I talked about, everybody's just like switching over from what actually made them money into this, because you have so high margins. Like that's one of the biggest things for me. It's like in info, if you don't run any ads, if you're doing everything organically, let's say you only have a sales team, the only thing you're just paying the sales team like 10% of the money you make anyway. So it's no upfront cost. It has such a high impact because you're genuinely transforming people's lives. And also, you have so much freaking leverage. It's actually crazy, because all you have to do is just fucking post simple ass videos, nurture that audience, and help them. It's so easy to deliver on what you're doing, as long as you have a proper result you can actually get. But you should have, because you've already done this with AI, right? So once the audience is pretty much nurtured, all you do is just leave a link down below where you just have them get on a call somehow, if it's in the DMs or wherever. Just have them book a call with you, jump on the call, and close them. Just like offer what you have to do. Sales calls in and of itself can be a skill. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've been a closer and I've done all that stuff. It is a skill in and of itself, but as long as you do everything correctly that I talked about above over here and what I'm doing, the sales calls shouldn't really even be an issue. You shouldn't have to do any crazy Aikido type of shit. Like, it's literally very, very simple. All you do, you just ask them where they are, how they feel about it, where they want to go, see if you can genuinely help them out. If you can, offer them what you have to offer, close them, paid in full, split payments, whatever. It's up to you. So just do that and you should be good to go. Hope this helped. If you guys need any additional information, if you need a prompt and anything, my IG is down below. Just hit me in the DMs. I'll help you guys out. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.